once the idea was completely destroyed
Yeah.
of building my own mobile game, and essentially what they said, and they were right, is if you're trying to build both a mobile game, which in its own is an entrepreneurial endeavor that requires knowledge, money, capital, etc., and an advertising technology that integrates into that game. So you have to manage the demand, you have to manage the advertising processes, you have to manage the transactions, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
These are like two separate entrepreneurial endeavors. And maybe Elon Musk would tell you to think big, but at that time I was 16 and I had absolutely nothing. And so what he told me essentially is refine that idea because it's not realistic. Think of what has value in what you do.
Right.
And one of my advisors at Goldwood, Mitch Garber, it's a famous entrepreneur in Montreal and a dragon. He puts it very well. He says that most entrepreneurs, and I don't want to quote him like exactly, like don't keep me accountable, but he told me one day something in the line of most entrepreneurs don't really know what their business is. And he's so right. So it was my case.
Okay.
I didn't really know what my business was at that time. And so when someone told me, refine it, I spoke to one of my mentors, Thierry, and him and I, over a 5-hour work session, something like that, came up with the concept of let's forget the mobile game and build an SDK that could be integrated in different mobile games. And we would be responsible for rewarding the user with coupons and discounts and products. And we could repeat that experience in hundreds of thousands, if not millions of different mobile game experiences. Now, there was a big lack of understanding on my side. I'm not going to talk about his because he's an extremely, pertinent entrepreneur. But on my side, there was a huge lack of understanding of the advertising landscape in general.
Right.
But at least that concept was a lot closer to the nature of Goldwood today. So that was good refinement. And so I came back to the same people who criticized my idea. And I said, I built a one-pager. I don't even know if I have it. Maybe I do. I built a one-pager. It's very old.
Okay.
One-pager. Let me see if I have it.
Go ahead.
Close to me. Yes, I do. I'll show it to you. And nobody's going to be able to see this in the podcast, but it doesn't matter. You'll cut it out. I'll show it to you. I built this one-pager. And so many papers in Goldwood. I built this one-pager, and essentially, it was exactly what I'm telling you right now. Right. An SDK that would integrate in different mobile gaming experiences and reward users for their daily accomplishments with products, coupons, and services.
The sacred text.
So I'm looking for my... What?
The sacred text.
Yeah, exactly. I'm looking for my one-pager. I can't find... Oh, there you go. This is the one-pager.
Oh, wow. It's much simpler than I imagined.
Yeah, of course. It's a one-pager.
Yeah, of course, but
should be super simple to understand.
Absolutely.
So, if I can walk you through it, man, I'm so glad I found that.
Shouldn't you have that thing like framed?
I should. That's so brilliant. This is history, man. This is history in the making. Okay, hold on. So, it's in French. Look at the old logo. We don't even use that brand anymore. But the concept was you're in a mobile game, and you get this day 3 bonus, and you can choose food, cafe, cinema. So whatever you like. And then that triggers a coupon that you can add to your wallet. And the wallet was a separate mobile app. That was a Goldwood mobile app that you as a user would have to download to collect all of those coupons. And if you consume those coupons, they would reward you in your game with bonuses, in-game currency, whatever. And so I listed out the benefits on the brand side and on the game side. I drew up a preliminary business model that was around cost per click and data selling. So this was good work, man.
You were what, 17?
I was 17,
Amazing.
yeah. This is good work. And as you see, it's closer to the nature of Goldwood today than that first mobile game. So that's what essentially Goldwood was. And I raised money on that in 2019. I raised about $300,000 on that idea from angel investors saying, this is what I'm going to do. And I joined Lune Rouge, which is Guy Laliberté's accelerator program.
Nice.
and they shaped the future of this company by providing the first team of developers, which was a third-party service provider. They helped me understand my business model, introduced me to clients.
Wow.
So they did a lot for GoLoot. And once I left that incubator, I was able to hire my first employee. That's in February of 2020.
That is not.
To see how fast the story goes. And so I immediately opened up a new round, and we closed that round through COVID, which was, I can't even describe how complex that was, but we closed that round through COVID in June of 2020. So that's like right now.
That's 4 months ago.
And yes, and since then, we have hired 7 people and are bringing a product in market in a few months and have met more clients, built partnerships with companies around the world. It's been an amazing journey so far. This has been our accelerator, and we're not done. We will raise more in the future, and there's a lot more coming up for GoLoot. But yeah, that's the true foundation of the company.
Holy text. You better hang on to that one.
This is the Bible.
Is that the original? That's the only piece printed, or?
No, there were a few pieces printed because I used to hand them out in meetings.
Makes sense.
But probably the last one I have. So I'm glad that I found it, because and the design was not that bad, bro. The UI
makes
UX
sense.
design,
you understand what it means. That's all that matters, no?
Yeah, the colors are a bit off, but hey.
Graphic design could use some work, but it's fine. It got you $300K in that first round, no?
It cost me $300,000.
That's insane.
On a piece of paper.
That's insane.
Because I had nothing else. Yep, absolutely. So that's the foundation of GoLoot. Man, I'm glad that I found that. This gets me into my fields now. Thank you for that.
You're absolutely welcome. So right now, how much funding does GoLoot have?
Oh, since that round we've raised over $2 million since that last round, over time, naturally. So we've raised over $2 million to bring this ambition to market.
Yep.
And to start collaborating with our clients and turn our innovation into a product. And it's what my team internally calls going from paper pitch to product release.
Nice.
And it's one hell of a road.
Mm-hmm.
And it's the first episode of our journey, but so far it's going very well. And it's thanks to them, of course, because nothing would have been possible without that team. It's also thanks to these investors. And they changed our life. I do believe that they changed mobile advertising as you know it. They don't see the benefit yet, but they did change advertising.
They know it's going to become something, so they're going to put their money to it. Now, how did it feel when you were first round of funding? What was that? Late last year or early February? I had the dates mixed up.
The first round of funding was in 2019.
Okay, so 2019. What was the feeling when you got $300K in your pockets to work on this project?
I didn't tell anybody. I wasn't public about GoLoot, not at all. I didn't even want my friends to know, because and my close friends, if you ask them today, they could tell you that they didn't really know what GoLoot did up until like late.
But they knew you were working on this thing?
Yeah, okay. They knew, but not something that I would talk about, because the purpose of this was not to talk about.
Yeah.
It's not only about the secrecy of the concept. It was more about like, I don't need to talk about
the distraction
and
the
so
noise they could bring.
It's a distraction. It's a noise, and we haven't yet proved anything and accomplished something sizable. And even to this day, it's the first time that we as a company are becoming public, and we launched our LinkedIn page and we started sharing more and more content about our journey. But this is, with my advisors and investors, this is years of work that we didn't say anything because it wasn't worth it. And now we publicize our story because we believe there's value in doing that and sharing and spreading our journey. But at that time, I wasn't public. So the feeling was immense success, and I was really, really proud of that. But it wasn't something that I made public. And what I said earlier last week when I was doing something similar as what we're doing right now, I said that closing a round, to me at least, feels as additional responsibility.
Yeah.
Not as much as a huge accomplishment.
It's not a prize money.
You are more excited. exactly. You're not excited. You're more excited along the way when you get those
Mm,
commitments, when you line up those investors, when you get to meet those big investors. You're
yeah.
more excited then. Once the round closes, it's not prize money. Everything
Hmm.
starts now. It's a new beginning, and so it's so much pressure, so much stress. So that was the feeling of the first one. It was a worse feeling in the second one. It's going to be an even worse feeling in the third one. I say worse not on the bad side, I mean more on the pressure.
To learn more about Lucas Béland's full story on how he became a full-time entrepreneur and startup founder at 19, go to episode 9 with Lucas Béland.